What if I revealed that roughly 82% of vehicles never cross the 150,000-mile mark? Yet my own car powered well beyond 500,000 miles with zero engine rebuild. This wasn't random fortune. Modern engines don't die from high mileage or old age. They're quietly destroyed by overlooked practices and shortcuts the car companies prefer to keep quiet. Today, I'm breaking that silence wide open. Here are 17 no-nonsense, evidence-based, mechanic-endorsed strategies that can realistically carry your vehicle past 700,000 miles while staying remarkably smooth, powerful, and dependable, far exceeding what the factory ever planned for. Pay special attention to habit number 5. It stops the single, most catastrophic and wallet-crushing breakdown you're likely to face. Let's get straight into it. Habit number 17. The intelligent 3,000-mile oil discipline. Car owners usually follow the 10,000-mile oil change recommendation in the owner's manual without question. Those figures are crafted for perfect lab-like scenarios and to make maintenance look effortless, not for everyday reality. Engines wear out primarily because oil loses its ability to shield metal surfaces long before that magic 10,000-mile mark. Dirty, sheared, or thermally degraded oil simply stops doing its job. Independent testing by AAA demonstrated that pushing oil change intervals too far can boost internal engine wear by as much as 40%, especially in vehicles driven mostly on short trips, stuck in stop-and-go congestion, or operating in extreme heat or dusty environments. That explains why so many by-the-book cars end up clogged with sludge, rattling, and exhausted by just 120,000 miles. The solution is straightforward and powerful. Change to fresh oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, adjusted to your real-world conditions. In scorching regions, think Arizona, Texas, Middle East summers, opt for a slightly thicker viscosity like 5W30 that resists thermal breakdown better. In freezing climates, Minnesota, Canada, Northern Europe, a thinner cold flow oil such as 0W220 reaches critical parts faster during those brutal first seconds of operation, slashing dry start damage. Always pair a premium full synthetic oil with this tighter interval. This combination forms the strongest defense possible against timing chain stretch, main bearing scoring, ring sticking, and sludge accumulation. And never skip the oil filter. It's the gatekeeper that captures debris so your new oil stays clean longer. Nail this habit consistently because the next one safeguards a component that costs 2 to 3 times more to replace. Habit number 16. The transmission survival protocol. Most people ignore transmission fluid until harsh shifting, slipping gears, or complete refusal to engage appears. And at that point, recovery is usually expensive or impossible. The widespread belief that modern, lifetime fluid really lasts forever is dangerously misleading. In practice, lifetime typically covers only the warranty period, not genuine long-distance durability. Heat is the number one destroyer. Automatic transmissions normally run 175 to 920 degrees. Every 20 degrees rise above that range halves the fluid's effective life. Overheated and oxidized fluid causes more than 60% of all transmission failures, not mechanical flaws. To give your gearbox serious longevity, drain and refill the automatic transmission fluid, ATF, every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. No exceptions, even if the manual says otherwise. Clean fluid keeps clutches gripping properly, seals supple, and hydraulic pressure stable. If you tow trailers, crawl through heavy traffic, or live where summer temperatures soar, degradation accelerates dramatically, making proactive changes the most cost-effective way to avoid a $3,000 to $5,000 rebuild. Important safety note: if the fluid has been ignored for 100,000 miles, avoid aggressive power flushes. Use gentle multiple drain and fill cycles instead to prevent dislodging debris that could block passages. Check regularly for reddish-brown color, burnt odor, or external leaks. Treat the transmission with this level of respect, and it will reward you with decades of smooth service. Habit number 15. The fuel system sabotage preventer. That extra squeeze after the nozzle clicks off might feel like you're winning at the pump, but it's one of the quickest ways to silently wreck your evaporative emission system, EVAP. Overfilling forces liquid gasoline straight into the charcoal canister, a component engineered only to trap fuel vapors. not to handle liquid fuel. Saturated charcoal breaks down, releasing fine particles that clog lines, foul purge valves, and trigger rough running, strong fuel odors, hard starting, and persistent check engine lights. Repairs frequently run $400 to $200. The automatic shutoff exists to maintain correct pressure and protect the vapor recovery system. Ignoring it floods the system and creates imbalance. The EPA has explicitly cautioned that habitual topping off dramatically raises evap failure rates, particularly in hot weather when fuel expands more. Manufacturers classify this kind of damage as owner misuse, so warranty coverage is almost never granted. The fix couldn't be simpler. Stop filling the instant the pump clicks the first time. Allow the tank and system to stay balanced. You'll avoid a huge category of emissions headaches and unnecessary expense. Habit number 14. The engine mount hidden killer. Check your engine should never feel like it's violently fighting to break free. Worn or collapsed engine mounts are ignored far too often, yet they quietly cause excessive vibration, uneven idle, and accelerated wear throughout the driveline. Repair industry data shows that degraded mounts play a role in nearly 20% of drivetrain-related stress failures. Fixing a $150 to $200 mount early prevents thousands in collateral damage, damaged CV axles, ruptured hoses, cracked exhaust flex sections, and even misaligned transmissions. Perform this fast DIY test anyone can do. Start the engine and hold the brake pedal firmly. Shift from park to drive. Watch and feel how much the engine rocks forward. Note any violent movement, harsh vibration through the floor, or steering wheel shimmy. Repeat the shift into reverse. Significant tilting or shaking in either direction signals worn mounts. Beyond comfort, bad mounts throw driveline angles off, overstress hoses and pipes, and hammer the transmission during every shift. Replace them before the damage cascades, and you'll restore refinement while protecting far more expensive parts downstream. Habit number 13. The modern cold start reality. The old advice to idle a cold engine for 5 to 10 minutes to warm it up properly is completely outdated and actually harmful for today's vehicles. Extended idling on a cold engine pushes unburned fuel past the rings, dilutes the crankcase oil, and dramatically increases cylinder wall and bearing wear. It can raise overall engine wear by up to 2/3 compared with gentle driving. Modern fuel injection, oil formulations, and emissions systems are optimized for quick load application. Best practice: after starting, wait only 20 to 30 seconds, just enough for oil pressure to build. Then drive away smoothly and moderately. Engines reach operating temperature about 40% faster under light load than sitting still, resulting in less friction damage, cleaner combustion, and noticeably better long-term durability. Drivers who adopt this pattern experience far fewer cold start noises, smoother winter operation, and measurable fuel savings. Drop the long, idle myth today. Habit number 12. The real coolant lifespan. Truth. Overheating rarely strikes out of nowhere. It's almost always the final symptom of a cooling system that has been quietly failing for a long time. Many owners trust the factory's 100,000-mile coolant interval. In practice, coolant gradually becomes acidic, loses vital corrosion protection, and begins dissolving aluminum parts from within. Engineering studies, including those published in the International Journal of Automotive Engineering, link neglected coolant to nearly 40% higher risk of catastrophic head gasket failure, often well before visible boiling or steam appears. Quick diagnostic: drain a small sample from the radiator petcock or lower hose. Good coolant looks vibrant and transparent. Rusty brown, murky, sludgy, or particle-filled fluid means the system is overdue for service. Before refilling, inspect for leaks. Check under the radiator, around the water pump weep hole, and along hose connections for colored residue, green, pink, orange. Small leaks are inexpensive to repair. Ignored leaks can warp heads in minutes. Flush and refill every 30,000, 50,000 miles regardless of the manual. Proactive cooling system care isn't optional maintenance. It's the best defense against one of the most destructive failures possible. Trick number 11. Fuel that actually helps. Instead of hurting low-quality gasoline is one of the fastest hidden ways to age an engine prematurely. The damage doesn't announce itself with smoke or noise. It happens deep inside, on injectors, intake valves, and inside the combustion chamber. Modern engines, especially direct injection (GDI) designs, fire fuel at pressures up to 2000 psi. Even microscopic deposits can badly distort the spray pattern, leading to uneven combustion. The AAA fuel quality study revealed something shocking. Engines running non-top-tier gasoline accumulated 19 times more carbon deposits in only 4,000 miles compared to top-tier fuel. That extra carbon steals horsepower, worsens fuel economy, and shortens the life of injectors, valves, and pistons. The solution is inexpensive and immediate. Choose top-tier certified gasoline every single fill-up whenever it's available. Every 3,000, 4,000 miles, add a high-quality fuel system cleaner, the kind trusted by technicians. Owners of Hyundai, Toyota, Chevrolet, BMW, and many other brands consistently report noticeably smoother idle, quicker throttle response, and better overall drivability after just one thorough cleaning cycle. These additives help dissolve carbon, restore proper injector spray patterns, and keep combustion chambers cooler and cleaner longer. Make this non-negotiable, because the next habit protects a component you can easily destroy without ever touching a wrench. Trick number 10. The gentle shift discipline. Your transmission is usually the second or third most expensive part of the entire vehicle, yet it's shockingly easy to damage through daily driving habits. Slamming into gear, shifting while still rolling, or banging from drive to reverse sends violent shock loads straight through synchros, clutch packs, planetary gears, and shafts. According to transmission specialists at AAMCO, over 40% of early transmission failures are directly linked to aggressive or improper shifting habits, even in relatively low-mileage vehicles. The Shift Smart protocol takes almost no effort. Always come to a complete stop before changing direction, especially into reverse. Pause for 1 second before engaging reverse. Never shift into park until the vehicle has fully stopped rolling. That tiny 1-second pause prevents the parking pole, clutch pistons, and gear sets from grinding under load. It's no coincidence that Honda Accords, Toyota Camrys, and many other long-lived models frequently reach 300,000+ miles. Owners simply shifted smoothly instead of aggressively. Treat every gear change like you're handling fine china. Because the next habit has nothing to do with shifting. It's about how you stop. Trick number 9. Carbon deposit. Deep clean carbon buildup is the silent performance thief that almost every modern driver eventually battles, especially owners of GDI, direct injection, engines. Unlike older port-injected engines that washed intake valves with fuel, GDI engines spray fuel straight into the cylinder. That means intake valves never get cleaned naturally, and over tens of thousands of miles, sticky carbon layers build up on valves, intake ports, and piston tops. SAE research shows that GDI engines can lose up to 10% of power and fuel efficiency by just 50,000 miles, purely due to carbon accumulation. The good news? It's fixable. A professional carbon cleaning service every 40,000, 60,000 miles, whether walnut shell blasting, chemical induction cleaning, or high-quality foam, liquid methods, restores airflow, eliminates misfires, and brings back crisp performance. Audi, BMW, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and most turbocharged vehicles benefit dramatically from this service. If your idle has become shaky, acceleration feels lazy, or fuel economy suddenly dropped without explanation, carbon is very likely the hidden culprit. Clean the lungs of your engine regularly, and it will reward you with power and efficiency that feels almost new again. Trick number 8. The Parking Pal Lifesaver. Most people assume the P position does all the work when they park. In reality, the Parking Pal, a small metal finger inside the transmission, is never designed to hold the full weight of the vehicle on a slope. When drivers consistently shift into park without first setting the parking brake, that tiny pal takes brutal punishment. Eventually it wears, bends, or breaks, and the repair frequently runs $900, $1,500 or more on some models. Transmission shops see this failure constantly in SUVs, trucks, and sedans that spent years parking without using the handbrake. The correct sequence takes 3 seconds. While still holding the foot brake, fully apply the parking brake, handbrake. Let the vehicle settle onto the brake. Then, and only then, shift into park. Experts estimate this simple change reduces parking pole wear by up to 70%, especially noticeable on Hondas, Toyotas, Subarus, and other vehicles with heavy drivetrains. This tiny habit costs nothing but prevents very expensive transmission surgery. Trick number 7. Electrical ground and terminal maintenance. Your car's electrical system depends on just a few critical cables, yet they're among the most ignored items under the hood. Corroded battery terminals, loose clamps, and weak ground straps don't just cause slow cranking. They create voltage drops that confuse sensors, trigger false check engine lights, mimic ECU failures, and even make transmissions behave erratically. ASE-certified technicians report that nearly 30% of all mystery electrical problems trace back to poor grounds or corroded connections, not faulty parts. Drivers often waste $200, $600 replacing sensors or alternators when the real issue was a $10, $15 cleaning job. Routine: every oil change. Inspect battery terminals for white-green corrosion, looseness, or fraying. Clean terminals and ground points, chassis and engine block, with a wire brush. Tighten securely. Apply dielectric grease to prevent future corrosion. Clean, tight grounds keep voltage stable, protect the alternator and starter, and dramatically reduce cold weather starting issues. Trick number 6. The throttle body relearn reset. After a battery change, jump start, or years of inconsistent driving, many cars develop lazy throttle response, unstable idle, hesitation, or annoying rev hang when lifting off the accelerator. Surprisingly, the problem is often not hardware. It's adaptive memory gone wrong. Modern throttle-by-wire systems learn your driving style, fuel trims, and airflow patterns. Over time, that learned data becomes corrupted. A simple throttle relearn wipes the slate clean and forces the ECU to recalibrate properly. Almost every major brand, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, BMW, Ford, Hyundai, responds beautifully. Procedure takes under 2 minutes. Key to on position, engine off. Press accelerator pedal fully to the floor and hold for 10 seconds. Release pedal, turn key off. Start engine and let it idle untouched for 3 to 5 minutes while it relearns. Many owners, including a well-documented 2016 Camry case, report instant improvement in idle quality and throttle crispness with 0 parts replaced. In trick number 5, master the art of coasting. Slamming the brakes at the last moment is one of the fastest ways to destroy brake components long before the pads are actually worn out. Heat is the true enemy. Late, hard braking can push rotor temperatures well above 500 degrees F, causing glazing, warping, cracking, and accelerated pad wear. Consumer Reports data shows that drivers who brake late replace pads 40% sooner and rotors twice as often compared to those who ease off the gas earlier. Coasting is free mechanical sympathy. Lift off the accelerator 5 to 10 seconds earlier when approaching stops, corners, or downgrades. Engine braking naturally slows the vehicle while keeping brake temperatures far lower. Hybrids, Prius, Insight, etc. do this automatically, which is why their friction brakes frequently last well beyond 120,000 miles. Try it tomorrow. You'll notice smoother stops, cooler brakes, and firmer pedal feel over time. This one habit saves serious money on brakes. Trick number 4. Fuel filter awareness. Check, the fuel filter is small, inexpensive, and incredibly important. Over time it traps rust, dirt, sediment, and tank debris. When it becomes severely restricted, the engine starves for fuel under load. Symptoms: hesitation on hard acceleration, stumbling when merging, power loss on hills, or feeling gutless despite a full tank. In worst cases, the struggling pump overheats and fails, a repair that commonly costs $600 to $200. Quick self-test. During strong acceleration, highway on-ramp, passing maneuver, if the engine surges, jerks, or feels fuel-starved, suspect the filter. Replacement interval, every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, sooner in dusty areas or with older tanks. A $20–40 filter change protects injectors, the fuel pump, and the entire engine from far more expensive damage. In trick number 3, brake fluid exchange. Every 2 to 3 years, brake fluid quietly absorbs moisture from the atmosphere every day it's in the system. hygroscopic property. After 2 years, moisture content can easily reach 3%, enough to cut the boiling point in half. When contaminated fluid boils during hard stops, mountain descents, panic stops in traffic, you get soft pedal, fading brakes, or complete loss of pressure. NHTSA and independent studies identify moisture-laden brake fluid as a leading cause of premature ABS module failure. Repairs often exceed $1,000. Fresh fluid every 2-3 years prevents internal corrosion, protects expensive ABS components, and keeps pedal feel firm and confident. Trick number 2. Never skimp on spark plugs. Cheap or worn spark plugs quietly rob power, waste fuel, and damage other expensive parts long before most people notice. Modern engines demand thousands of perfect sparks per minute. Weak or low-quality plugs disrupt combustion, cause misfires, and overwork the catalytic converter. Data shows low-grade or overdue plugs can reduce fuel economy by up to 30%, trigger recurring misfires, and overload the cat, one of the most costly components to replace. Real-world example: a 2014 Camry owner delayed plug service for 40,000 miles, destroyed a coil pack, and paid $980 in repairs, all preventable with a $60 plug set. Rule: always use OEM equivalent or Iridium Platinum plugs and replace them on schedule. Quality plugs deliver smooth, idle, strong acceleration, better MPG, and longer catalytic converter life. Trick number 1. The quarter tank safety buffer. Running your tank regularly below 1/4 full is one of the fastest ways to kill a fuel pump prematurely. Gasoline cools and lubricates the electric fuel pump. When the level drops too low, the pump runs hotter, works harder, and sucks debris from the bottom of the tank. Teardown analyses show pumps that frequently run low on fuel operate up to 40 degrees or hotter and fail 30% sooner in high-mileage vehicles. Once overheated, they pull sediment into the system, clogging injectors and starving the engine. Simple rule: keep the tank above 1/4 full as often as possible. It stabilizes pump temperature, reduces strain on hills, and keeps debris settled at the bottom where it belongs. Zero cost, but saves $600 to $200 when the pump inevitably fails early. And there you have it, 11 more battle-tested habits that quietly turn average cars into high-mileage survivors. If even one of these tips clicked for you, smash the like button, subscribe if you want more, and drop your current mileage in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. How many miles is your car at right now, and which habit are you starting first? Next up, the most dangerous oil change myths still being followed in 2026, and the ones that actually destroy engines. See you there.